Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Warren Bennett. We've got Trev in the studio, pretty tired down there. And as you can see, I'm back in the studio. So thank you very much for the kind folk here at Chesfield at the golf club for granting me access to the studio for me to do some filming. So thank you very much to them. The most important position in golf, impact, is obviously where the club meets the ball. And as we've known, there's many different ways to swing the club. Many different backswings, but generally 99% of the time, impact position is the same. There's obviously slight characteristics because of kind of body shape and whatever, but generally they're in the position where the club meets the ball correctly. Now I'm going to show you a great little tip, very simple, but a great little tip that you can do straight away. Feel what the correct position at impact is, because as we know, it's a position where it's kind of a flash. It happens at, I think they said 10,000th of a second, so we're not going to be able to feel that. But I'm going to give you a little exercise here that you'll be able to feel it, and then hopefully you'll be able to swing through it. Okay, so I'm just going to get the back camera set up, get Trev out the danger zone, and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so Trev's okay there for now, because I'm just going to show you the exercise without hitting a ball to start with, and I'd like you to do the same. Right, okay, let's get on to it. So take your stance as normal. Now, this is something I think is called kinesthetics. It basically shows your body the position you want to get into, and then you trust you're going to swing through that, because like I said at the intro, you're not going to be able to feel impact. So first of all, keep the club head there, and I want you to have your hands moving forward. Now this is the most important bit. Hands moving forward, but the club head doesn't open. As you can see there, it's very easy. As soon as someone tries to get their hands ahead, the hands go away from them, as you can see from the behind view, hopefully. Yep. And the club opens. So they either hit a shank or they're big blocks. The biggest thing you've got to do here is keep the club there, have your hands going forward, back of your left wrist stays nice and firm, but the club head still looks where the target is. So it doesn't open. As you can see, you're not moving your hands forward and the club's affected by opening. So you're just basically de-lofting this 7-iron, which I've got now, and turning it into a 6-iron loft. Now this is exaggerated, but now is what's called I think it's called the line of tension. So it's where the middle of your hands are above my left shoulder. Slightly exaggerated and really hard to get into that position. And I'm going to show you a little tip you can do at the start of your swing to help that. So first of all, hands to move forward, which de-lofts it. Head stays nice and still. You're not leaning with your shoulders or your head there. Keep your head nice and still. You're doing it with your hands only. It's going to feel slightly weird because we're not activating another part of the body, which we should be yet, but you're just working on your hands. Now from here, you keep your head still. Hands are going forward, so you're just de-lofting it, keeping the club face straight, looking down the line, down the target, and you're kicking off your right shoe. So to do that, you want to kick in your knee and lift your inside of your shoe. So I'm kicking off my big toe. So you'll be able to see I've got a kink here, as you can see with my shoe. And a lot of professionals will have this kind of crease, a little bit more on the inside of your shoe there than you would do fully, as you can see there. So you want to kick a little bit of lateral. It's getting some weight shift laterally. So what you're doing here, as you can see, your hands are going forward, your knees going forward, and you're kicking off the inside of your shoe. Don't worry, it will twist in the end, but to start with, you need to get into this impact position, which is your knee in line, if not slightly ahead of the ball line. Your middle of my hands, so where my hands are touching, you want that above and in line with your left shoulder. So if you're looking into a mirror, you want to see this. You want your hands to be above your left shoulder, you want your knee in line with the ball, and you want your toe, you want your shoe to be kicked in on the inside. You can see from the behind view my knee hasn't come out, it's just come towards my left toe for now. So head nice and still, hands forward, knee and foot with the head still. Now just a final ingredient, but just a very important one, is just let your right elbow just fall inside slightly. You don't want this elbow to be over the top. So I'll put a slide together with all those little kind of notes and bullet points, just for you to have reference. So you can pause maybe the video and see that, or you can take kind of a snapshot and then have that for reference. So I'm going to hit some balls now. So how to introduce this? So what I'd like you to do is get into that impact position. Remember, my shoulders are going to keep exactly where they are, and then hold. 5, 4, Go, and then just don't stop, and then swing through. I don't know if I went through that position there. It felt like I kicked off quite nicely. I have no idea. Like I said, it's 10,000th of a second, but I'm hoping that my brain and my neurons will feel this position because I've held it. I don't know how long you actually do it for. There's obviously some science out there. You might have to hold it longer than 5, but let's just do 5 for now. Okay, hands forward, don't open the club face. Kick, hold, exaggerate it a little bit, pressure. Also push the club in a little bit. Feel the pressure in your hands, keep the club level, don't open it, keep it level, hold, 5. Head behind slightly or in line, it doesn't move. Go. Cool, wow. Now, it's never going to get that much, especially if you've got a fault of kind of staying back and your hands are behind, or a little bit of casting. Okay, so yellow line, again, push, everything, might exaggerate a little bit. You can see there from the behind view, really important. I push forward, kick, and I just soften this right arm. Hold it, pressure. Keep the club pushing into the ground if you can. Hold it. Head stays there as it is. You can see I do that again, my head's not moving. There's your little bullet points. Hold it. 5. I'm really going to feel to get into that position. Swing through it, and hold it for a few more seconds. Shoulders nice and square, still haven't opened. Okay, let's see if I can get into that position. That wasn't quite. It struck well. It's a great thing to do at the range, practice area. I'll tell you what, it's a great thing to do at the end of a session, because it's all very well working by, kind of positions, which obviously there's loads of videos on the channel for that, getting yourself in the correct position. A lot of it is kind of letting it go, but there's a time and a place for everything. And I quite like these exercises that you're kind of working a different part of the brain. You're not analysing too much. You're just making sure you're in this position. I think it's called kinesthetics, where you're holding, and my brain is like aware of what's going on here. Remember, I'm not pushing out here. There's a little bit of twist of my waist, but it's a bit more lateral push through, a bit more forward. Right arm under, push down, creating a bit of pressure in my hands and the club face. Remember, keep your club face nice and square. Head stays relatively still over it. Hold. 5, 4. Okay, I'm going to go a bit slower this time, see if I can kick through and hold that. Like I said on previous videos, speed will give you the ability to get yourself into that position, because it gives you more awareness time. So speed's a great one. You can work on slower speeds, quicker speeds, but it's a great one to kind of finish any practice session with. Right, shoulders nice and square, hold. Right arm in, soft with everything, quite light still, kicking off the inside of my shoe, pressure down, hold. I've got arthritis in my left thumb, so it's not the easiest thing to do. See, with the back of my left hand there, nice and square, because that back of that left hand is mimicking that club face, nice and square. It hasn't opened, twisted, so anything you're doing with these hands, you're going to notice it in the club face. So if the club face is nice and square, your hands are going to be good. Look how far ahead they are. They're over the top of my shoulder, that line of tension. I've probably gone beyond it, but you'd rather be that side of the fence than hands behind. But I don't want to show myself a bad position. So you can do that at home. Oh, that felt gorgeous. To give yourself a little bit of a chance, next time you play, not so much a driver, because a driver, remember, is off your left shoe a little bit more, and it's kind of you're kind of wanting a little bit more of an upstrike, but especially with an iron and anything on the floor, really. If you start with your hands here, it's going to make it easier for you to mimic that and swing beyond that position. If I start level, I'm now having to do a correction, which can be done, but it's harder, isn't it? Especially if you don't find it very easy. Start with your hands slightly ahead. Remember, make sure you don't open that face. Keep the face kind of looking square, keep the leading edge looking square as it started. So you're going to start there, and we're going to try and feel like you're going to swing through that position. But let me just do one more hold. Shoulders nice and square, kick my knee, hands forward. Right arm in, pressure, and pushing down into the ground. hold, 5. Kick in, okay, let's go. Oh, that was squeezed. I'll put a slow motion of that swing up, so hopefully I can mimic somehow. Remember, it doesn't have to be done probably as much as I am, but I like I've said in previous videos, I like exaggeration. Because feel and real, as you can see on the split screen there, are two different things. So it's always good to kind of push it and exaggerate it a little bit, and you might find a little happy medium. Okay everyone, so thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate everyone's support. I love you coming by the channel if you're new here and this is some sort of content that you would like in the future or any previous videos, please take a look and please subscribe. I'd love you to have you along. And if you're a regular viewer to the channel, thank you very much for stopping by and taking the time out to support the channel here, because I know there's a lot of choice out there on YouTube, isn't there? So I appreciate you taking your time out, commenting, liking, sharing, whatever you want to do. It's so appreciated, and I don't say that lightly. But I'm just here, hopefully, for you to understand. Not every video is going to be for everyone. I get that, and I know that. This is a really good one. Give it a go next time you go to the range, and I'd love to hear how you get on. So, from myself and a very sleepy Trev in the corner there, so he hasn't made a guest appearance apart from the start, I wish you well and bid you farewell until the next time. So, thank you very much again for Chesfield for allowing me to do a video here inside the studio, and until the next time, we'll see you then. Have a great golfing week, stay healthy on and off the golf course, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio!